Good evening, Star Warriors. Welcome to the first episode of Starbase here on our new channel, Rab and Mooch. I am Rab.
And I'm Mooch.
And basically on the show, we're just going to talk about everything to do with Star Wars. So our first section of the show is going to be just news in general, news about things that haven't come out yet officially. And the first thing on our list is recently John Boyega, who is playing Finn in Star Wars Force Awakens, recently sat down with V Magazine for an interview, and he described his character as someone we have never quite seen before in any of the Star Wars universe. He's quoted as saying, "JJ will send me YouTube clips of fans reacting to things online, and it's funny. The fans have no idea. It's great they're talking, but nobody has a clue." So, what do you think about that, Mitch?
That leaves it open for so many possibilities. It's really exciting.
I mean, everyone pretty much gets the fact, and he's confirmed it, that, you know, he's the First Order Stormtrooper,
Right.
and eventually he defects. So, but as far as him being Force sensitive, what do you think?
I think he is, definitely, but we'll see.
I mean, like, in the clip where he's about to go up against Kylo Ren, you don't think someone would be that stupid who's not Force sensitive.
It's true.
I mean, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Personal defense is one thing, but I don't think I'd go up against Kylo Ren with not having any lightsaber turning whatsoever.
Right, yeah, but just because he's Force sensitive, though, some people are saying, like, he might be a Skywalker. I personally don't think he is.
I don't think so either.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much all we got to say on that, but we'll find out more next week.
Yeah.
Alright, next on the list for news is the Battlefront beta.
Oh boy. So I played Battlefront beta quite a bit. I've followed Battlefront since it was announced a while ago, and even before that, I was one of the people who liked the Facebook page for "Please make Star Wars Battlefront 3" or whatever it was. So it was really nice to get my hands on it. I think DICE has done an excellent job with it. Overall, the graphics is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, because they went to
The Frostbite engine.
the movie location. Well, also the movie locations for places like Hoth
Right.
and Endor. And I'm assuming Jakku.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So all in all, it looks great. The game mechanics, there's some things that make me mad. I could make a long video on what I don't like about it and what I do like about it.
Mhm.
But in a nutshell, I think the things that I like the least are the star cards. I don't like the idea of not having ammo and only being able to fire your sniper rifle once and have to wait for it to cool down, and not carrying a sidearm and unlimited ammo and that kind of stuff.
See, I don't play as many games, so it's just like, wow, this is Star Wars. This is cool. Good
Right,
graphics,
right.
nice. I get to shoot people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it looks great. We've got a little bit more coming out, hopefully within the next couple of weeks, about information on what's being put in the game. We know there's a Walker assault on Endor. Kind of excited for that.
Oh, that's cool. Well, that was in the trailer, I guess. That's what it looked like.
Correct, but this is a little different.
Right.
They showed Walker. Well, you're right. Yeah, they did show both AT-ATs attacking an Endor, and we got to play Hoth Walker assault during the beta. So
Do you think it's going to be like mostly the same, just a different landscape? Okay.
I think it's going to be pretty much the exact same.
Because that's the game mode that Walker's.
Right.
Okay.
It's an entire game mode dedicated to just Walker assault. I think it'll probably evolve into something a little more than just Imperial Walkers later, but right now this is what they're starting with. And I'm kind of hoping that there's some Clone Wars. We'll have to see.
Well, definitely. They'd be stupid to not put Clone Wars in
Exactly.
there. But that'll be after the movie.
Correct.
Force Awakens stuff comes
Correct.
out.
So the DLC for the new movie is going to come out right after the movie comes out. It's going to be, as far as I'm aware, a free DLC for everybody who bought the game, and they're adding in all of the First Order Stormtroopers and whoever they're fighting into the game as an add-on, and then hopefully, being that it's DICE, seeing the things they've done with things like Battlefield 4, where they release, Carrier Assault, which is a completely different mode and almost an entirely different story kind of thing. For multiplayer, it's like a huge add-on where now all of a sudden you're assaulting an aircraft carrier. I think they'll come out with things like that, big modes like that for Battlefront, but at the same time, like China Rising is a DLC you can get for the game, and I don't know if that adds anything to the campaign or what, but I would imagine they're going to come out with something to add on to the multiplayer.
Okay.
Whether that be a campaign or a conquest or the Galactic Conquest we all like to play, or We know hero mode is coming. We know they're doing a full hero mode like Battlefront 2 where you can just all be heroes.
Oh, that'll be. Then they gotta definitely have Clone Wars people in that to have enough heroes and villains.
Right. So that's more or less set. You're right. It's kind of gotta be added. We'll see.
Right. Ayla Secura is a boss.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Darth Maul in it.
Yeah, Darth Maul.
I would like to see the half and half Darth Maul from the Clone Wars. Where
Yeah, that'd be cool. They tend to promote Clone Wars more than the prequels, anyways.
Right.
So that would. Yeah, that'd be
I
cool.
think it'd be good.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
All right. Well, that's it for the news section, which is. Oh wait, no. Sorry, we have one more thing in the news section.
This is like the biggest thing.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I looked over it. On Monday, the 19th of October.
48 hours.
Right.
Roughly 48 hours.
When we're doing this.
From recording the video,
Right.
yeah.
The first official trailer for The Force Awakens, and I'm sure you guys already all know this, but it's coming out 8:30 p.m. on Monday, and that is also when
Eastern time?
Hmm?
Eastern time?
Yes.
Awesome.
And that's what I have seen, but
Okay.
yeah. But that is also when the pre-sale tickets are going to go on sale for the movie, as well as a lot of theaters are doing a marathon of all 6 movies leading up to The Force Awakens.
I saw that this morning
Yeah.
on Facebook. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, I definitely got to do that. So,
man, being there that many hours in advance, I wish.
Yeah.
I won't be able to make it.
I mean, a lot of people will just get there for the original trilogy, but if you get there at the beginning of the Phantom Menace and stay there the whole time, you definitely got a seat
Yeah.
for The Force Awakens.
Make sure you get a seat. Make sure you pack up on supplies. Make sure you're going to the bathroom in between movies.
Oh, I don't know how much that would be for a ticket for all of them.
I don't know if they'll even charge a whole lot more in all honesty.
Yeah, I
They're
don't
just
think-
spending like an extra 6 hours there.
Well, I don't think it would be a whole lot more just because they're not new movies,
Right.
but it's also Disney
Right.
and Star Wars, so I don't know, maybe $10 more, like a $20 ticket for all 7.
Yeah, but they got a lot better chance of making money off you too if you have to stay there for 7 hours to watch the movies.
Yeah, because you gotta get up and eat.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, now that is it for the news section.
Correct.
And the next section on the show that we're going to do is a review section on any piece of material, such as books, comics, movies, episodes of TV shows that have come out, anything that's completed.
Maybe some Legos.
Right, sure, maybe. Yeah, why not? First on the list is the book Lost Stars by Claudia Gray. It was kind of an undersold book by, everybody was promoting Aftermath because that takes place completely after Return of the Jedi. But this book, Lost Stars, is, I think, a must-get, and a lot of people have been raving about it, and I'm glad it's getting more attention now. But basically, if you don't want to know anything about it, you just skip ahead a little bit.
Spoilers.
Right. But basically, it's about these 2 kids who grow up on a backwater world, and eventually they meet, and they both want to become part of the Empire, and they both want to go to the Imperial Academy, which they both do. But eventually, some things happen, and one of them ends up leaving the Empire, defecting, and joining the rebellion. And then the other stays with the Empire, rises through the ranks. And it's pretty much just about their relationship the whole way through the original trilogy. It covers events from briefly before Episode 4 up until about a year after Return of the Jedi.
Wow.
And you get to see the Battle of Jakku, or at least portion of it, right? And you get to see how the Star Destroyer crashes into the desert of Jakku.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's a neat little tidbit neat little reward you get for reading the book. Something other people won't know, yeah.
Yeah, I probably won't gather.
Yeah,
That's cool. I like that.
yeah. It was only like $8 on Amazon for a digital copy. So yeah,
I'll have to read that.
yeah, it was.
Which one was the one everybody was saying was terrible? Was that Aftermath?
Yeah.
Aftermath they said was terrible?
Yeah, and I'm reading that right now, but hopefully I'll have that for next week. But I can't really tell whether it's good or bad yet. I'm not that far in. I'm on like chapter 3 or 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah. All right. Next is.
Oh boy, Rebels, right?
Yeah. First episode of Rebels recently, just aired on Wednesday, and the clones are back.
Yes.
The Lost Commanders are back.
Yes.
And I know this guy here is really happy about that, as well as I am. But this guy's a clone fanatic.
Oh, you know it. So, in all, I really liked the episode of Rebels. I thought it was really, really nice to get to see the clones come back. Very, very excited to see more of them. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they're going to stumble upon more. I find it hard to believe that those are the only clones that they're going to show back up. We know Echo survived. Spoilers. In the storyboards that were not completed at the end of the season 6 of Clone Wars. You actually find out if you watch those, which are obviously have no special, well, very little special effects and
Right,
that kind of stuff.
Very skeleton-y.
Yes, very early stage. Well, not really early stage. It's pretty late. They were just waiting on that next little bit of special effects. Anyway, if you watch it, the plot in it, they actually find Echo, and you find out that Echo basically has lost his legs and has cybernetic legs and has cybernetic finger, and he can hack into computers and that kind of stuff, but he's alive. So I really find it hard to believe that he's not going to be in the show, because now that stuff's canon, that storyboard stuff.
Yes, they are canon.
So it'll be cool to see that. I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that they stumble upon a whole clone legion that defected and followed their Jedi, but I'm thinking that's probably not going to happen.
Well, I don't know. In the list of coordinates that Rex was getting together, he might have hid something in there. He said he didn't report some stuff to the Empire.
Right.
And when certain clones defected, that may have been one thing that he didn't report.
Right.
And if there was one, I'm sure he wouldn't have reported it.
Yeah, he seems like the kind of commander to do something like that. Stay his neck out and, you know,
Rex is always, he knows what's right.
Yeah.
And that's why everyone loves Rex.
Yep, he lets, I don't know, it might be cool. Maybe he knew about a whole base of guys that were willing to fight, a little bit more willing to fight than he is, and threw that in there as a special surprise.
Yeah.
You know, let them all kind of not be reported and chill out there until somebody came along. And he was probably where somebody would come along.
Right.
Which is where we get our rebels. I don't know, we'll see. It's exciting. Right now they're playing it off like they're, like the clones aren't going to go with the group, but obviously we know they do.
Right. Well, at least Rex.
Yeah, at least
we know at least Rex.
At least Rex. But I would imagine probably Gregor and Wolf as well.
Yeah.
If one of them doesn't get killed in the attack
one
of the Empire.
Right. We've also learned from the Rebels Recon video that StarWars.com has put out about the episode, when they talked to Dave Filoni and the different actors and the people from they keep track of all the canon, that not all of the clones rebelled against or betrayed their Jedi, but we don't know like how many, like what the scope of it was.
Right.
Obviously, a lot of the Jedi were killed because that was.
It's the Great Jedi Purge for a reason.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure that'll have more to do with in Rebels, and that's another reason why they brought Rex back, was kind of seal up some loose ends with that, since none of the canon stuff has really solidified it.
Right. Well, and now they know kind of the questions that were arisen from the end of Clone Wars, because a lot of us have seen it. A lot of us have made videos on it, and B, posted on various websites, and what happened. So they've got an idea on what questions people are wondering. And maybe they'll even fill in some other things that we didn't think of.
Right.
Like, personally, I'd like to know what happened to Waxer and Boyle. Those are,
Yeah, that's true.
Those are more guys. I think one died on...
I think Waxer died.
I think
somewhere.
Waxer died between the engagement between the 212th and the 501st when they both fought the droids.
On the Abaran arc?
Yeah, on Abaran.
Right.
So, one's gone, but it's been a while since I've seen that episode, so I don't remember which is which.
I'm not sure. I remember the name Waxer, though.
Right.
So
it'd be nice to kind of see stuff like that. Maybe they'll throw little Easter eggs in there.
Right.
But we don't know how many found out about the chip in the head and how fast it got up through the ranks. I'd imagine it went relatively quickly to those that could, being that they wanted to save their superiors. We know Rex took his out. Anybody that's close to him, he might have said, hey, you need to get that out. It came from an ARC trooper. I mean, that's kind of a big statement.
Yeah.
Fives is the one who almost saved the entire galaxy by assassinating Chancellor Palpatine, but unfortunately he didn't make it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see how many clones registered taking that out and how many of them kept it in so that it didn't do any damage to their biology, but were able to fight it and not follow it.
Well, we also learned about the clones after the Clone Wars ended. They were mostly just retired, but the ones that wanted to keep going up with the Empire or just stay with them and help out, they became mostly like
officers and trainers.
Trainers, yeah, for the stormtroopers, but I guess it didn't rub off too much.
Not at all.
Yeah, but that's also from the Rebels Recon video if you want to fact check that. So, all right. Anything else you gotta say about Rebels?
Really looking forward to next week. We know there's going to be an AT-AT fight, AT-AT versus ATT.
And I feel like that's going to involve a lot of
Stormtroopers missing?
More stormtroopers missing, because And AT gotta be able to take down ATTE really quickly.
Yeah, and apparently not.
And I think there's like 3 of them too.
Right, exactly.
So, but I mean, it is a TV show. So.
Right, so we'll have to see how bad this Stormtrooper aim is next week.
Right.
So,
I really liked how they caught that. The Drooper or whatever it's called. That was really neat.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was like fishing.
I like the yeah, it was some interesting kind of fishing. I think my favorite line from the whole episode was where Rex bashes on the stormtroopers of next week. It's not this week, but he says that you better have brought a better class of soldiers than those stormtroopers.
Yeah. I also liked how he said, well, the Empire is certainly not the Republic.
Right.
That was great.
That's great.
Yeah.
You kind of get the idea that he's maybe at least a little bit against.
Well, I'm sure he's against it, but
Right.
he doesn't feel like he can do anything.
Right.
Because, accelerated aging and stuff.
Okay, so before I forget, let's do, how do you feel about Ahsoka and the clones? Do you think Rex is gonna find out that Darth Vader is Anakin? And B, do you think Ahsoka and Rex are gonna make it through this season of Rebels?
I think Rex is gonna die. I don't know about Ahsoka. I mean, she's definitely gonna, come face to face with Darth Vader, slash Anakin at some point.
Mm-hmm. We know she has some sort of an idea that he's Anakin.
Yeah, that's why she's, like she said at the beginning of the episode, that there are questions that need answering.
Right.
I don't want her to die, but she's got to go at some point.
Yep.
I think there's a good chance they'll both die.
Yeah, at the end of the season?
Rex will die before Ahsoka does.
Yeah. Okay. I think we'll probably get some dialogue between Darth Vader and Captain Rex, and Rex will kind of more or less do some bashing on him, like, how dare you, you were supposed to be a hero, I followed you into battle all those years, I shouldn't have.
Ahsoka might keep that from Rex, though, that he's Anakin.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like he's intelligent enough to probably figure it out. He just may end up going with her to some sort of confrontation, and, we know there's some similarities in their fighting style. Maybe he realizes those are the same kind of things that Anakin did. Maybe he confronts her about it, etc., etc. One way or another, I think Rex is going to find out that it's Anakin. We'll get some dialogue between them, and Darth Vader may or may not try and turn Ahsoka to the dark side, which might be interesting. I definitely think Ahsoka's going to die, but it's not going to be till like the very end of the series. And with enough people attached to Rex as we are, he probably won't die until later either. I think he'll probably stay around the whole season and the next couple of seasons, and then when we get towards the end of Rebels, when they're really trying to wrap it up, that might be it. Because I think it's going to go long past Episode 7, and probably past Rogue One?
Or Rogue One takes place in between 3 and 4,
Yeah,
which is right in line with the Rebels timeline.
Right, I think they'll probably either end Rebels right before that one comes out or right after it.
I'm sure there's going to be at least one Rebel character in Rogue One.
Oh, easily.
I'm thinking Sabine.
I think it's Sabine as well.
Yeah, because Kanan and Ezra, they got to die at some point because they're Jedi.
Right.
Ish. Well,
And
Kanan is, but...
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know, we'll see. And there's also some Mandalorian bases we might be getting a hand at.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was in the trailer, and did Rex say that was in the coordinates list?
Yeah, it was in the coordinates list.
Right.
So maybe we'll find out a little more about some of the Mandalorians as well. Maybe
they're the ones who sealed Death Star plans. Maybe they hired Death Watch or something. That'd be cool.
That'd be really cool. It'd be really nice to see some more Mandalorians. Maybe they're in Rogue One.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Never thought about that before, actually. Okay. Alright, moving on from Rebels, the next thing under reviews so far is the Shattered Empire comic, which I have been reading. 3 issues have come out so far, out of 4. It takes place a few months after the Battle of Endor, and again, spoilers if you haven't read them yet. It has Poe Dameron's parents in them, who's the one who flies this baby in in The Force Awakens, and it pretty much just shows some battles that happen afterward.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one thing that was pretty neat. After Sidious died, apparently he had in place, I think it was called Operation Cinder, to purge like a bunch of planets, and one of them is Naboo, since he's from there. And in this most recent comic, Poe Dameron's mom and Princess Leia, went to Naboo. I think it was just to talk about them joining the New Republic or whatever. But eventually these Star Destroyers show up because they got to purge Naboo now. It was like a last order from Emperor Palpatine, and they start these huge storms using these satellites on Naboo. And I mean, we said before, maybe that's how Jar Jar dies.
Yes.
That'd be funny.
So many fans would be happy to see that.
Because then technically Palpatine killed Jar Jar.
Yes, technically.
Yeah, his dying wish. But at one point in that comic, you get to see the current Queen of Naboo, Princess Leia, and Poe Dameron's mom all flying Naboo starfighters, taking out these satellites.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice throwback. And there's also a part where Princess Leia has this, you see her, like, the Force interacting with her when she passes by the spot where Darth Maul was.
Ooh.
So I like that they're showing more of her Force abilities, or at least
Some of
it can do things to her.
Right.
She can sense stuff.
I find it really awesome that they brought back the old retired N1s. Those are cool.
They get so overlooked just because people don't like the Phantom Menace.
Right.
But they're such a sleek design.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I wonder why he purges Naboo of all places.
Well, he's from Naboo.
Right, he's from there, but did he have some beef with them and wanted the place gone, or did he hide some Sith relics there? And he decided that if he wasn't going to live, that they needed to destroy.
Well, there was in the Lando comic,
Which that's where I'm getting it from.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, you read some. Okay.
In the Lando comic, they stumble upon some Sith relics.
Right. In the Lando comic, Lando steals frickin' Emperor Palpatine's personal yacht, and there's a bunch of Sith stuff on there. And Palpatine hires a bounty hunter to go and steal it back. But if he can't get it back, he's supposed to blow it up. So that would make sense.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't want him getting his hands on maybe the staff
of Darth Plagueis, who might be Supreme Leader Snoke. But yeah, we won't get too far into that.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that was pretty much it for Shattered Empire. It's a good action-filled comic series. Yeah, like if you like to see A-wings in action and a bunch of starfighters in action, it's pretty good.
And the Lando comic is definitely worth reading as well. I've read some of that. And I was very, very pleased with it.
Yeah, you get a little bit more information on Lobot.
Yeah.
In that, which is kind of neat. I like how they did that. I already talked about Aftermath, so the last section of our show today is our theories and speculation section, which we're really only gonna do one a week.
Mm-hmm. So
this week we're talking about Barriss Offee. Or is it Offee or Offee?
It's Offee.
Oh, okay.
Barriss
Offee.
Offee.
I've always said Offee. But whether she is the female Inquisitor or not. So.
Want me to lead?
Sure.
So I know I've watched quite a few videos on YouTube of different people talking about whether or not they think she's Barriss Offee, what they think might have happened to her, who they think this woman actually is. If they don't think it's Barriss Offee, personally I don't think it's Barriss at all. At first when I saw it, I thought there's a good chance because yes, she's the same species, she would be about the right age, we know that she pretty much defected from the Jedi Order and became a Sith kind of thing, or at least an Inquisitor, so it would make sense. And then we started looking into it. Her voice sounds nothing alike. The tattoos, we've discussed this, we think it's possible to remove tattoos.
Yeah, when I saw the tattoos were different, that didn't totally discount it for me, because so what?
They were lasers.
You can change tattoos. If you're in a galaxy where people have lightsabers, you can change tattoos.
Yeah, and satellites that make swords.
Right, exactly.
So I would assume they could probably rearrange the facial features or something.
And the fact that they're looking for Ahsoka also made me feel like, oh, that's got to be Barriss. But everything points to it being Barriss.
Because they're trying to draw Ahsoka out.
Right, except for her voice, which Barriss had more of an accent, and this female Inquisitor, the Seventh Sister, doesn't.
Right.
Though she does have there's a little bit of distortion to it, so that might serve as an explanation if she turns out to be Barriss.
Right.
But I don't know.
We'd have to see. I don't know. I'm excited. I think we'll find out very shortly here. We don't know much about the male Inquisitor.
No, there's nothing about him.
They'll probably cover him first.
He's called the Fifth Brother or something like that.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll probably cover him first, and then we'll get some conclusions to whether or not it's Barriss. And if it's not, what happened to Barriss? Because she would have been a perfect candidate for an Inquisitor, you know, some sort of Sith apprentice kind of thing. But obviously she didn't become one, so maybe, who knows, maybe one of Anakin's tests was to kill Barriss. Maybe, you know, maybe she was around. We know they dueled a little bit.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see. You know, we definitely have to find out some more about what Anakin did once he became Darth Vader. You know, I'm sure he wasn't just immediately given reins of everything. He was tested during the Clone Wars. We know he's battle hardened, he's a veteran, but they want to see, I'm sure Sidious wanted to see how he would act.
Well, especially after he was defeated by Obi-Wan, I'm sure Sidious felt a little bit of doubt in him.
Right.
Since Obi-Wan wasn't even the most powerful Jedi.
Right, but they assumed that they killed pretty much all the rest of them, so maybe they were worried, yeah, it's just Obi-Wan, we'll hunt him down and figure it out. But little do they know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think it's Barriss. What do you think?
I'm going to go 70% no.
70% no. I'm going to give it a 90% no.
Okay. So, just the fact that Dave Filoni has worked on Clone Wars and Rebels, he's like the lead guy in Rebels now, that still leaves me with the 30% yes, because he brought back Hondo.
Right.
I mean, like, I don't know why he wouldn't bring back Barriss, but I'm sure if he does, it'll be in a great way if it's not through the Inquisitors.
Right. It's nice they're tying up some loose ends.
Yeah.
It's definitely good.
Yeah. All right. Well, leave some comments down below, and
Give us things to talk about next week, even.
Oh yeah,
Give
a
us
lot
some
of stuff for next week.
Next week's going to be a good episode. So
Right.
We'll have a lot to discuss. We'll chat about a couple of different things. Everything from the new premiere of the trailer up to next week's Rebels.
And the final thing is Shattered Empire.
Yep.
And hopefully Aftermath.
Hopefully.
Right.
And maybe we'll both get a chance to put in some input. Hopefully I'll have some of that read by that point.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you next week. May the Force be with you.